YouTube, capital G here. Got some Predaplant duels for you guys to check out, showing you a funky new build that is putting in some work. You know, low-key, Predaplants are actually going to be getting a significant amount of support, direct support and indirect support, when we get some of these new Link monsters. Obviously, we know Predaplants are getting their own Link monster, but then there's also Claw Heap, which is just such an absurd card if you're playing a fusion deck. So let me show you guys what this deck can do. And this Predaplant build is always trying to blind second, which I think is actually pretty smart. So looks like he's playing against Dragon Link in the first duel. His only hand trap being Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. So basically everything should go off. It's just, you know, he'll get a nice little +1. So Ib is going to be summoned, fair enough. Goes into Cyframe Lambda. Looks like he might go into some Guard Dragons. He sees 2 Link monsters on the field, which is probably the most opportune time to drop the Phantasme, fix your hand, and you know, he does have 2 Kaijus now, so that's really strong for board breaking. But you know, without the Aggro Pain, you just don't get the free negation. You don't get the Hot Red Dragon Archery Abyss. I'm not saying you can't make strong boards with the Guard Dragon still, but it's just a lot more difficult. Anyways, he's going to continue on. You can see he has Tracer. That probably should give him like a Borload Savage Dragon maybe. He did make the Predaplant Link monster, so he's going to make Savage Dragon. And you might see this being splashed into a lot of decks, considering that the Predaplant Link monster just requires 2 effect monsters. A lot of people I've seen kind of splashing in like Dart Magician, and then, you know, kind of throwing in maybe like Red Eyes Fusion, because this guy right here, the Anaconda, lets you use Red Eyes Fusion from your deck. And basically you're already running a bunch of Dragon monsters in your deck anyways, and we all know that the Dragoon of Red Eyes is like such a ridiculously powerful card. Having the built-in negation against everything, can't be targeted, can't be destroyed by card effects. Also, it like, you know, it gets increasingly more powerful. So he's gonna drop that, and this is a pretty solid board. Outside of the fact that you do have to keep this card on the field, unfortunately, he does have double negation, big monsters as well. Let's see, I expect the Kaiju to be thrown down. He is going to try to go Monster Reborn. Dragoon says, I don't want any of that. But the problem is, now he has access to all of his Predaplant plays. Ortho Scorpio, Darling Cobra is so strong. And I love this card, man. I've always loved Ultra Polymerization. I've said it once and I'll say it again. The only problem with this card was simply the timing of it. This card came out in Maximum Crisis, the very last set in the Arc V era. And then Master of 4 just kind of like screwed the card over. If this card would have came out in New Challengers or something, oh my goodness, it would have been so much better. But he's going to be able to, after summoning Claw Heap, go for his Chimera Rafflesia, and since Claw Heap was on the field, he just gets a free Monster Reborn with the effect, which is why this card is so absurd. This gets him Lone Fire Blossom back, and Ultra Polymerization gets him his materials back, so he can just keep on going. He's going to summon his other Predaplant, which lets him fuse using no fusion cards, and now he is going to get Claw Heap off the field so that he can have a little more damage. And I believe his Venom actually targeted the Gamma Seal to gain, you know, some more attack. Obviously, it could not target the Dragoon of Red Eyes because it can't be targeted, but I think he's actually just going to win the duel right here. Chimera Rafflesia going to activate its effect. He will summon Brotar back, but honestly, it doesn't matter because he does not have to attack the Brotar to simply win the duel. And that's a pretty GG. Like, I'm going to say that that was pretty impressive, playing through the double negation. Not just double negation, but those monsters were strong monsters. Borload Savage Dragon is not an easy card to take down because it gains stats. Same thing with the Dragoon of Red Eyes. Second duel is going to be against Dart Magician. I might start playing Dart Magician again competitively when these cards come out, because Dragoon of Red Eyes makes the deck so much better. Mainly like your turn 1 plays are just like insane with Dart Magician. Now he is going to summon Magician Souls, and he's going to go Jester Confit. This means he can go for Anaconda. It's basically the same thing that you saw in the last duel. That means you get your 1 card Dragoon of Red Eyes, and you know, best of all, he gets his Dart Magician in the graveyard from his deck. Not just that, but then he also has like Circle plus Eternal Soul, which is your core combo for Dart Magician. So this is looking like a really good board. The only problem is he does have to keep Solemn Strike in his hand. And that's simply because he does want to keep that negation. He can, I mean, I guess you could call it a little bit of player's choice here, but personally, I would leave the Solemn Strike in my hand because I want to be able to negate anything. And his opponent has Twin Twister, but it ain't even going to matter because he got another Kaiju. So the one thing that can kill Dragoon of Red Eyes is that Kaiju. He's going to go ahead and try to use the Eternal Soul, looking to bring back his Dark Magician. I'm not sure if he wanted to banish the Claw Heap or trying to go after the Brilliant Fusion, but it doesn't even matter. He's going to be hit with Twin Twister on the Eternal Soul. This means Eternal Soul will nuke his board, by the way. So Raphronite's going to be summoned. Clawheap's going to give him a free Monster Reborn, and he also is going to get the Hat Tricker. Clawheap is just, it's such a ridiculous card, dude. Getting a free Monster Reborn in like these plant decks, getting your Lone Fire Blossom back, getting your Predaplant monsters back is way too powerful. He is going to go for Ib, and usually decks would go for Guard Dragon combos and shenanigans here, but he says, Cat, we don't need no stinking Guard Dragon combos. I'm going to go for, you know, the Borreload Savage Dragon, but that's basically it. He's just going to summon Glow Up Bulb back, go for Link Karibo and say, I've got an open field. I'm going to try to go ahead and just kill this guy. And, you know, I thought that those were some pretty clean duels. I mean, obviously this is not like a 100% pure Predaplant build, but you can see that the point of this deck is kind of to make your plays with the Predaplant monsters and to fusion summon a lot. Anyways, let's pause for one quick second and check out this build. And here's what the deck looks like on paper. And yeah, you can definitely tell that this deck wants to fusion summon early and often. He's running the Super Polys in the main deck. We also saw the Ultra Polymerization put in some serious work. Still just an incredibly strong card. When you combine this with Clawheap, it is insane. You guys saw the potential where basically you're getting a fusion summon, then Clawheap is giving you a Monster Reborn, then you get your 2 materials back from the graveyard, and you know, with certain Predaplant monsters you can fusion summon again. I like the fact that this deck knows what it wants to do. Like, there's a go second build. He's running Kaijus in the main. You got the Phantasme as like the +1 kind of hand trap. He is running Ash Blossom. If you didn't recognize his art, you're like, what exactly is this? This is actually Ash Blossom in Joyous Springs, but you can see that there are enough Predaplants in here. Just, you know, some of the more powerful ones, Ortho, Scorpio, Darling Cobra, you've always seen those, and when you run those, you're obviously going to run Lone Fire Blossom. He's got the Brilliant Fusion in there, another way of fusion summoning, and he also has other kind of like powerful go second cards. You got the Twin Twister, which we saw, Super Polymerization, such a strong card, especially now that you can use it from the deck with Anaconda, which is always nice. He has the new kind of the new Vergeki plus Harpy's Feather Duster in one card, the Lightning Storm. I don't know if you guys have play tested with this card yet, but I was playing Altergeist. I got hit with it. Basically, it single-handedly won my opponent the duel. I was like, to hell with this card. But yeah, I definitely like this deck, and he's on 42, which is usually a little more than I like to go for, but everything is, or like a lot of these power cards are ran at 2, so you know, maybe you could cut like one card and get down to 41, or maybe you just leave it at 42. Anyways, I think this is pretty interesting. Hopefully we get some of these cards soon, because I think the biggest problem with a deck like this is that we don't really know like when the Predaplant Anaconda is coming out, but at least Clawheap is in a core booster set. Like, it being in Ignition Assault at least kind of guarantees that we'll see the card sometime soon in January.